Winding up. The character of Dhritarashtra symbolizes ignorance and attachment, while his charioteer Sanjaya symbolizes self-restraint. With Dhritarashtra's mind covered in ignorance or darkness, he is blind since the time of his birth. Dhritarashtra sees through the eyes of his charioteer Sanjaya. Since Dhritarashtra is blind, his wife blindfolds herself permanently as a sacrifice unto her husband. The two blind parents give birth to the evil Kaurava boys, who are never berated for their misdemeanors, but are in fact supported by their parents due to their blindness, which symbolizes intellectual and spiritual blindness. At the core of Dhritarashtra's mind is ignorance, and what is worse is his infatuation for his son Duryodhana, who is born of his ignorance. A mind, when not restrained, produces all kinds of asuric or demoniacal thoughts, and in some cases forces the owner of the mind to convert those negative thoughts into inhuman acts. There are people who ask and also try to research and find out if and where the great Mahabharata war took place. There certainly is a place called Kurukshetra in the Indian state of Haryana, where I spent a few nights some years ago. But how would it matter to anyone, or what difference would it make to anyone if the story were real or not? I have said earlier, particularly in the previous video 98 of 100, that the scenario of war in the SRIMAD BHAGAVAD GITA is an externalization of the perennial inner conflicts that make it challenging for people to make right choices in life. In Shloka 1301 or 13.2 in some editions, Krishna says, "O Arjuna, the wise sages call this body the kshetra, or the field, and he who knows it, the kshetrajna, or the knower of the field." Therefore, what Krishna says is that the body is the combat field in which one's negative qualities, symbolized by the Kauravas, and the positive or divine impulses, or the Pandavas, are at war with each other. When there is divinity in the mind, the body is a dharmakshetra, or a field of righteousness, and when the mind is overpowered with demoniacal thoughts, it degenerates to that of being merely a kurukshetra. The root verb from which the kuru part of the word kurukshetra stems means to do. In Shloka 308, Krishna says that even the maintenance of the body cannot be done without performing work. Being driven by sattva, rajas and tamas, the three properties of nature, man is compelled to act. However, the ratio of the three different gunas in a person forms their inner nature and shapes their intention behind every action they perform. Noble and divine intentions, guided by right impulses that point a person's mind towards the highest state of self-realization, indicate the body or the field of action to be a dharmakshetra. Negative or evil intentions in a person indicate their body to be merely a kurukshetra, or a place of action driven by unrighteous or demoniacal impulses. As per the Mahabharata, Sanjaya had acquired by the grace of sage Vedavyasa the power of Divyadrushti, or remote viewing through time. It was because of such a power of Sanjaya's that King Dhritarashtra asked him to narrate what had happened and was happening on the battlefield. After narrating all that happened at the battlefield, Sanjaya describes through the last 5 shlokas of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, shloka 74 to 78, his divine experience of having heard the divine conversation between Jagadguru Bhagavan Sri Krishna and the noble warrior king Arjuna, and of having seen the most wonderful cosmic form of the Supreme Bhagavan Krishna. The evolved divine soul that Sanjaya was, he also could gain first-hand knowledge from the divine dialogue and have the exhilarating divine experience despite only doing the job of reporting. Apart from this video 99 of 100, we have video 100 of 100, plus one more video 101, which will be a bonus video. Shloka 1874. Sanjaya Uvaacha. Ityaham Vasudevasya paarthasya cha mahaat manaha. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham adbhutam roma-harshaNam. Sanjaya said, I have thus heard the wonderful dialogue between Vasudeva and the great-hearted Pritha. The message is so wonderful that my hair is standing on end. Sanjaya Uvaacha. Ityaham Vasudevasya paarthasya cha mahaat manaha. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham adbhutam roma-harshaNam. Sanjaya Uvaacha. Ityaham Vasudevasya paarthasya cha mahaat manaha. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham adbhutam roma-harshaNam. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham adbhutam roma-harshaNam. Sanjaya Uvaacha. Ityaham Vasudevasya paarthasya cha mahaat manaha. Samvaadam-imam-ashrausham adbhutam roma-harshaNam. संजय ने कहा, इस प्रकार मैंने वासुदेव और महान हृदय पार्थ के बीच की वार्ता सुनी। यह संदेश इतना अद्भुत है कि मैं अपने शरीर में रोमांच अनुभव कर रहा हूं. சஞ்சயன் கூறினான், வாசுதேவருக்கும் மகாத்மாவான பார்த்தனுக்கும் நடந்த இந்த அர்த்தமுள்ள உரையாடலை நான் கேட்டேன். இவ்வளவு அற்புதமான செய்தியை கேட்டு எனக்கு மெய் சிலிர்க்கிறது. సంజయ ఇట్లే ఈ విధంగా నేను మహాత్ములైన వాసుదేవుని మరియు పార్థుని మధ్య సంభాషణను విన్నాను. అద్భుతమైన ఆ సందేశాన్ని విని నా శరీరము పులకాంకితమగుచున్నది. ಸಂಜಯ ಹೇಳಿದನು, ಹೀಗೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಮಹಾತ್ಮರಾದ ವಾಸುದೇವ ಮತ್ತು ಪಾರ್ಥರ ನಡುವಿನ ಸಂಭಾಷಣೆಯನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಆ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿ ನಾನು ರೋಮಾಂಚನಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. संजय म्हणाला, अशा प्रकारे मी वासुदेव आणि महान हृदयी पार्थ यांच्यातील संवाद ऐकला. हा संदेश इतका अप्रतिम आहे की माझ्या अंगात रोमांच जाणवतो. സഞ്ജയൻ പറഞ്ഞു, വാസുദേവനും മഹാത്മാവായ പാർത്ഥനും തമ്മിലുള്ള അതിശയകരവും അർത്ഥവത്തായതുമായ ഈ സംഭാഷണം ഞാൻ കേട്ടു. ആ മഹത്തായ സന്ദേശം കേട്ടതിൽ ഞാൻ പുലകം കൊള്ളുന്നു.